Happy day, everybody. We're in St. Louis, Missouri. Behind us is the historic Old Courthouse. Today, as we film this, is actually a historic anniversary of the Missouri Supreme Court reversing the lower court's decision revoking freedom privileges from slave Dred Scott. Can't see it too well at the moment, but the statue right there is of Dred Scott. That event was a catalyst for the Civil War. But before we head over to the historic courthouse, we're going to check out the Gateway Arch. Now, I'm not going to pretend that we're the biggest experts on the Gateway Arch, because I'm going to be honest. The one thing I always think about when I think of one arch,
it's McDonald's.
Is the, well, almost, it's like the historic line in Coming to America, where McDonald's has the golden arches, but McDowell's has the golden arch. Now, this is something I never thought I'd see in person. I've only seen it really primarily when I'm watching New York Mets away games when they play the St. Louis Cardinals. This is the arch entryway. This looks almost somewhat familiar.
Yeah. This is Jedi Council.
There's Yoda's seat back there. You can see at the top those windows. That's where we'll be able to look out of and check out the city from the top. And we're walking towards the arch now. You can stand underneath it. Here we are at the base. Here we are at the base of the Gateway Arch. Look at this. A lot of people scratching graffiti in here. One more view from the base. And here's a view of downtown from the base of the arch. And we have the water behind us. Tons of people taking pictures. We've made it inside the arch. I'm gonna go check out the museum first, and then we're gonna go up. Who lived here first? We've gone a little bit underground at this point. The founding of St. Louis. This is a pretty large museum. There's an actual action shot there. Chopping on the tree with this axe. St. Louis was founded as a French fur trading center. They had very small houses back then. There are some items that they used for trading. This house is the actual size from back in the day. Different house building tools. Hey, it's Matt Hardy.
Our ancestors had to come up with new terms for animals not found.
Delightful. Here's the earliest pair of Nikes known to man. Yeah, he did. These are some of the earliest settlers' items. Check it out, coins. Get everybody to look this way. Number 3 is a $10 coin. Number 4 is a $5 gold coin. And number 2 is a $20 gold coin.
There's 11 sharpshooting buffaloes.
I got a stagecoach.
46 miles from Fort Grant to Fort Thomas in Arizona Territory with $30,000 in gold.
Also, George Bush. It's a model of what the river used to look like. During excavations on the arch grounds in 2015, a buried cistern was discovered full of artifacts related to a hotel called the Jefferson House, which stood prior to the Great Fire of 1849. This is President Jefferson. This is President Jefferson. Oh, take me home, where the buffalo roam. Anatomically correct buffalo. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at this. Buffalo hide powers the factories. Why is the arch here? $1 is full payment for a ride in the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial Gateway Arch. Those are dedication medals and bicentennial official medals, number 4.
After lunch, you wander up the hill.
There's a model.
The campfire theater, just as a jest by the little
Some information on how they built it.
that are next to the
When we eventually go up, it's not like a typical elevator. You go on these little archway cars that are kind of like little pods. They go up like this. It looks kind of terrifying. I am slightly terrified at the moment. And there's pictures of the construction workers building the arch. In a nutshell, the arch was built because the freight that was shipped on the rivers dried up, shifted away, and needed a memorial to replace the old riverfront. Some really cool sculpture detailing just how tall the arch is compared to some other landmarks. The closest is the Washington Monument at 555 feet. Mount Rushmore, 465. And the arch, 630 feet. And we have some historical videos playing of the construction. Key milestones.
Alright. Now that I have everyone, good morning. How's everyone doing today? Very good. In the 1930s, specifically 1935, was when President Roosevelt received a bill saying that they needed something in St. Louis to signify this was the gateway to the West. Now Roosevelt approved it, and they held a contest in the 1940s when a Finnish American man named Eero Saarinen, can everyone say that with me? Eero Saarinen entered a contest with the idea for the arch and won. Now the arch is 630 feet tall, 630 feet wide, or 192 meters, or 63 school buses. It costs $13 billion to build, but in today's money it is $200 million to build. It was previously called Jefferson National Expansion Memorial, but in 2018 it was changed to the Gateway Arch National Park. We are the 60th national park in the United States and the tallest man-made monument in the United States. The monument that is taller than us is out of the country, is the Eiffel Tower, and that is because Paris has more money than us. So. Now, I'm going to start by giving you a timeline of the arch, which is also playing on both sides, so feel free to look on either side while I explain it to you. In 1961 is when they broke ground for the arch. In 1962 is when they started to pour cement on the ground so they could build all 142 steel sections of the legs. In 1963 is when they began building the arch. In 1965 is when they finished. From 1965 to 1967 is when they started to build the trams that you will be riding in today. 1967 is when the North Tram was finished, and 1968 is when the South Tram was finished.
We're in the pod zone. Waiting for our pod. There's a very small door.
The designer of the arch and also about the trams. That is the sound of your tram coming back down. Like I said, it is very loud. Since your tram is on its way back down, I will be talking about safety procedures. These doors are 4 feet long. They are very, very short. This top part is not padded at all whatsoever. And if you hit your head, I promise you it will hurt. Now, if you do hit your head, I'm sorry, but please watch your language. 14 inches. So for like smaller people, you guys just have to jump. You guys can do it for this great experience. In your tram to the door.
We're in the tram.
I'd have off for a week for this.
Too late to take the stairs.
Yes.
But come on out.
That's where we keep the stuff.
I just realized this is gonna be like one in Florida.
And this week is hitting 80.
80?
Oh wow.
We got 50 and we're like, oh. See, this is probably the tallest ride I've ever.
We just passed the world's oldest fan.
How do we even like?
Get out.
Yeah, if this thing stops, which it is.
I think we're at the top. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't see us getting out from here. There it is. Door.
Made it to the top.
Fall down all these stairs.
Now we gotta walk the rest of the way up here. Welcome to the top.
So funny.
It is packed.
Yeah, look at this door.
Here's the view down. I don't know how well you can see it, but part of the arch is right there going down to the floor.
There you go.
Actually,
Windows from the floor too.
our hotel is right over there, the brewery. You actually have to lean over on these carpeted mats to be able to get a look. Just try not to fall in. Wow. See everything that way. Here's more of a look. Headed towards the old court. We've moved to the other side.
Are you guys? We're not going back. Yes, we are.
Bridge. Some docks.
At least you take pictures.
Right here is officially the highest point. 630 feet. Just beat me to the viewing point. We're a little bit more towards the middle, right at the 192 mark. All the way down. Good shots for Mary. And this way, you see where the Cardinals play.
That's where they come
The
back.
city is so big.
Alright. It's time to head back down. I shall call them sauna pods. It is crazy hot now. Alright, we're gonna make our way over to the historic courthouse. I should get the name right. It is actually the Old Courthouse. We'll see, but we're gonna see what we can see before it closes today. Here's a better look at that statue that we saw from across the street. This is Dred and Harriet Scott. The history of St. Louis. Alright, so we're walking into the center of the old courthouse. And come into the middle. Might sound a little bit different. Look at this. We've got very little time, but we're going to start a whirlwind tour of St. Louis. There's a replica of the building that we're in. Here's Illinois Country, 1673. It's a cultural melting pot. Look at these Native American artifacts. Very cool. Everyday life in a French community.
You can tell that somebody put their feet there. How do I know?
Here's Fort San Carlos in the Battle of St. Louis. Alright, next up, exploring the West. I wonder what was in those cases that is no longer in those cases. An old compass. I have to tell you, when we came into the museum, Jess has been obsessed with Lewis and Clark since she was in grade school. And she just repeated the same story to me that I think I've heard a million times in my lifetime about the giving of coins from Lewis and Clark. And here they are. How does it feel to see this in person now? Like it's been legend in the life of Jess. Here's the decline of beaver fashion. Personally, I'm a big fan of top hats. And I wish they'd make a much stronger comeback. We need more representation other than Slash and Big Kenny. The next section is the clash of cultures. The importance of the buffalo. Nomadic tribes. Look at that. And Missouri's role in westward expansion. I've got a covered wagon here. I could not imagine traveling around on wooden wheels. This map depicts the locations of tribal groups located on the Great Plains.
Oh, look at where we are. Where we were.
Yep, St. Louis. Look at this. You can see all the tribes up the west coast as well. California and Oregon, Utah. Now we're able to see the actual courtroom where the Dread trial took place. There it is. And this is the East Courtroom. The St. Louis Circuit Court met in this courtroom between 1857 and 1915. It's thought that this courtroom was in use by the time Dred and Harriet Scott were given their freedom by Taylor Blow on May 26, 1857. In the 1930s, this room was used as a classroom for the St. Louis Art League. Alright, so now we're heading into the West Courtroom. Here's another look at the ceiling from a little closer up. All right, that is going to do it for us at the St. Louis Gateway Arch. Thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes and your comments and your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great day. See you guys.